So what if you're scrolling right now and none of this is real? The people, the comments, even me, what if it's all AI? Would you still go on the internet if none of it was real? Well, that is the premise of the dead internet theory. And in this video, I'm going to go over the wave of AI influencers that are flooding the internet right now. Then we're going to talk about the bots in the comment section. Plus, we will discuss how this relates to the dead internet theory. Are we living through it right now? Is it already upon us? These once-in-a-lifetime events just keep coming faster and faster and faster. Oh, it's fantastic if you're into interesting things. Now, I watched this video from Jew Almighty. He is this YouTuber and he covers the internet, he covers fitness, manosphere stuff, a lot of black issues online. And he made this video about the rise of these degenerate AI black influencers. Yeah, degenerate. People are going through the trouble of making black AI influencers and then making them represent the absolute worst stereotypes about black people. That's actually very important, and we will come back to it shortly. I will explain the dead internet theory first. The dead internet theory started as a conspiracy theory, but like many conspiracy theories now, it has become mainstream. It has become proven correct. And it states that most of the internet is made up of bot traffic and that the CIA is using propaganda on its own people. Now, I don't know what the CIA is getting up to, but legally, they could do this if they wanted. They have contracts with big tech companies and AI companies, including Palantir. Now, the theory was first posted by a person by the handle of Illuminati Pirate on Agora Road. I'm going to post it on the screen for you. This person says it is a repost of his own thread on this place called WizardChamp. Regardless, I will link the full thing at the bottom and I will post a lot of it on the screen so you can pause and read it for yourself. Some of it is pretty out there, but some of it has already come to pass. So that's great. One very interesting part from this, I will put on the screen. It is the timeline of events which could have made it legal for the CIA to propagandize its own people over the internet. It says, in 2012, the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act gives the US government full legal authority to use propaganda against its own populace. Undoing rules put into place after Operation Mockingbird's discovery and the Church Committee. This was from way, way back in the day, which forbid them from doing this, but we reversed that, so that's great. And they followed this by 2012 to 2016, shit tons of DARPA NSA contracts were given to Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc. Now, not every weird TikTok video is CIA, but legally they can do this, which was not the case before 2012. Now, we know that the Russians are using bots and fake accounts to influence our elections, to kind of sow discontent in our people. But Illuminati Pirate is saying that the CIA is doing this to us too. Fair point. I don't know about the CIA. To me, just to me, it seems like the state of the internet is causing a lot of societal collapse with the collapse of the family structure, declining birth rates, and people generally just checking out of society. I don't know why the CIA would want to do this to their own people, their own country, sabotage their own country, but they could have been going for something different and just surprise, surprise, we destroyed society. Whoopsie. That is so CIA, isn't it? Anyway, this Imperva report says that for the first time, bot traffic has surpassed human traffic. That was 2024. Now, Imperva is a cybersecurity firm, and it is their goal to spot malicious traffic. It's called the Bad Bot Report, and you can check it out. I will also link that below. I'll put their executive summary on the screen right now so you can see the findings that they actually came up with. Now, according to Imperva, 51% of internet traffic is now bots. That's not a theory. That is industry verified cybersecurity data. You can read the full report for yourself if you want to. Now, this report is from 2024, and what it does is confirm what Illuminati Pirate said in 2021, that the internet is mostly bots. It may not have been in 2021, but they're letting us know that it is now. Side note, isn't it crazy that they're putting all of this stuff out there? Like, if this is what's out there, what are they hiding? Do you think it's really simple? It's just like, they're thinking, I'm going to put all this out there and the American public, they're not going to do anything about it anyway. So it might as well be open to everyone to see. Or is there a lot more that we don't know about that they are still hiding that's more nefarious? Just going to leave it there. AI influencers. Yes, there are now AI influencers and the technology is getting better and better by the day. Now, I'm off of X, as we discussed, as formerly known as Twitter, so I didn't see the flood of Black AI influencers that you almighty is referencing. I do know about AI influencers as a concept. People sometimes, they come into my comment section and they say, don't listen to her, she's AI. I have a cesarean scar that says I am not AI, okay? If we have to, it would be funny if influencers have to show all their scars. Like, look at this. This is from burns. These are burns from the kitchen. Okay. And we have to start all of our videos by showing all of our war scars. Anyway, but I'm thinking that if people are accusing me of being AI, that means the technology must be like really, really, really advanced by now. And it is. You can look at this stuff and you have to look for these little things. Otherwise, you're like, wow, that would have fooled me. Anyway, there are famous AI internet personalities out there that we all know about. There's Michaela, Aitana Lopez, or these replica girlfriends, etc. And there are some that you probably know are AI by sight. And by sight, I mean big old boobies. They got big old boobies. And I actually appreciate the technology being used for pornography. I know that sounds weird, but I think it's the best use for the tech so that girls who are too young to actually understand the implications of doing pornography, they're not forced into it anymore, or they're not pressured into it anymore. And I am not a prude. I just think that a lot of 18-year-old girls do not know what they are signing up for. So I'm not against that. We do see a lot of new visual technology being used for pornography initially before it goes more mainstream. And I don't know if that's for the immediate financial gain, people just want to make money, or if the public is horny, or both. Regardless, it may start with pornography, but it will not end there. So now we have these big boob Insta hoes. Okay, fine. But how long before it's AI cult leaders, AI political commentators? Just think about it. Imagine a channel like the Young Turks, not the Young Turks, obviously, but a channel like the Young Turks or the Daily Wire, if you're like into the Daily Wire. What if it's all AI? Here they could influence political discourse to the nth degree in this country, and we'd have no idea who is behind them. So why couldn't politicians or political parties just make their own AI Daily Wire? Their own AI Young Turks, and all of their talking points support this politician? What's stopping them from doing that? Not the law. That's gone out the window with Citizens United. Not talking about that on this video. Also, what is stopping a psychotic Christian cult leader from making an AI Jesus that's like, this guy's got it right. If I were going to come back for a second time, it would be as this guy. And they just make these videos every single day and they flood, and your auntie thinks, well, this guy must have it if Jesus says so, because they don't understand. They're always sharing this AI content. And if you're like, well, nobody would ever fall for that. If you've got money, you can buy views for your account. Corporations do it all the time. You can buy engagement. You'd be shocked by how many of these corporate accounts straight up buy their views. And that will be enough to fool a lot of regular people into thinking that these accounts have authority that they really don't have. Because people like what other people like, because we're social animals. I know it's frustrating. Even if we hate something popular, many of us will pretend that we like it just because it is popular. This is the logic behind buying views. And this doesn't apply to everyone. There are outliers, but just not enough to stem the tide. Now, I'm really mad about Rick the Robber. Why would you make a caricature of a young Black man that steals from people, that's manipulative like this? Now, I made this point on Patreon, but if this video gets out there, it gets widely spread, and it leads to one trigger-happy white homeowner shooting a Black Amazon employee, that's a great tragedy. That's a massive tragedy. That's horrible. Now, who is making these? It is labeled as AI on TikTok, but if it gets downloaded and shared, that label is gone. And look, for the record, YouTube makes you label if your content is AI. So for right now, we are relying on the honor system and these big tech companies to not only stay ahead of the fakes, but to consciously search out the fakes. Now, how do we know if an influencer is fake? You have to look for glitches like hands. Look at my hands, real hands. You have to look through the comments. Do they respond to comments? Okay, you have to look outside their page. Do they have friends? Do they collab? I'm not gonna do that for a 10-minute video. I'm not doing 20 minutes of research for a 10-minute video. Are you out of your mind? No. But that's the future we live in. That's the future we live in. What are you supposed to do? Now, are we seeing any evidence of this decay online? These bot farms, they are not a joke anymore. They passed the Turing test. We went over the Turing test in the last video. I will not repeat it. This is a post from Reddit of a bot farm. Look at this. Look at all of these bots. And it's a whole room full of these. And this is what one commentator said at the bottom. Context: bot farms like these are the people you talk to on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, etc. They're also used to boost views on TikTok, YouTube, etc., especially during live streams, to trick the algorithm into thinking it's gaining popularity rapidly. So why waste time talking to people online if they might not even be real? Your whole internet argument that just ruined your whole morning, it might just be these little flashes in a warehouse somewhere. Now, apparently this type of bot farm is kind of try hard. This is what one commentator said. He says, I work for a non-naive bot detection company. These sort of bot farms are rare and not really used anymore. Why? 2 reasons. Second one. The social networks and ad networks, Google ads, Microsoft ads, Meta ads, etc., make minimal effort to detect and stop bots as they earn so much money from them. They get paid for every view/click, regardless if it's from a bot or a human. That means scammers only have to make minimal effort to make their bots look like humans. Using real devices is overkill. That basically means that there is no one inside these tech companies looking out for you. Few people, let's say. There's no one ensuring that you have an authentic experience on the internet because they get paid the same amount either way. They don't care. It's all money to them. And yes, we are seeing more generic internet writing. There used to be blogs. I'm so old that I remember when you looked up the recipe, you had to go through this whole person's childhood trauma before they even listed the ingredients. It's not so anymore. Now you go to a blog and it looks just like the next blog. So why go to these blogs? And of course, there's advertising. Every internet page you go to is just full of advertising. It's all junk. It's junk, it's junk, it's junk. Even Pinterest. Even Pinterest is full of AI. Is nothing sacred anymore. I can't even have my macrame without there being AI. The internet and social media are a worse place now than they were in 2020, and the internet was already trash in 2020. It was already trash. Now, to me, this is jolting, and I have to check that this is even reality. Because, look, I'm not like some old man yelling at a cloud. I'm not yelling about this kids or this new generation. Something different and dramatic has happened over the past 5 years, and it's AI. And this change happened very quickly, just like that. I feel like we just got over COVID, and now we have to deal with AI. Like, all I'm saying is that these major catastrophic events keep coming at us faster and faster and faster. Like, we get over one and then there's another one right behind it. Plus, COVID took kids out of school for 2 years. It took them out of school for 2 years. So now we have people coming up that have legit lost 2 years of schooling. They're less able to adapt than millennials or even older Gen Zs. And I have no idea how humans are supposed to fight the machines if this is our starting line. Like, what? I am trying to stay positive, but damn, positivity only goes so far. Like, I'm doing my best here, okay? Cultural hit. As much as we like to hate on influencers, at least they were people. Now, I'm with George Carlin on this as far as politicians go. That politicians come from the people that elected them, okay? That the people are the problem. And people like to blame politicians, they like to blame influencers for leading us astray, but people select who they elevate. I agree 100%. Definitely check that stand up that he did. Now, ideally, influencers represent a certain percentage of the people, and they are as popular as the people decide that they will be, as much as the people can relate to them. So yes, the people have been the problem, but that had its bottom where the people had their bottom. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, this was supposed to be the democratization of social media. So no longer could the elites just completely decide where our culture was. And that's why things actually got interesting for a minute. For a minute, the internet was nice and interesting. Yes, groupthink and audience capture kind of negatively affected influencers. And I have done videos about that. We were not coming from some pure influencer utopia before this. However, once we get AI influencers, that bottom that we once had, the one that could get no worse than the people, that bottom is gone. Who are these people making these AI influencers? Is there any accountability for these AI influencers? Yeah, it could be regular people who just don't want to show their face for whatever reason. That's fair. But why should we trust that? Like, why are we giving them the benefit of the doubt? They haven't earned it. We don't even know who these people are. Plus, influencers are supposed to relate to us. They're supposed to work on their craft, like their presentation. That's a craft. And as they work on their craft, the audience goes on that journey with them. Okay, I appreciate all of you who have been rocking with me for years, who've watched me improve, work on my editing, work on my presentation, etc. Influencers are supposed to be our parasocial friends. And I have actually made friends through YouTube and through Patreon. So this parasocial friendship, it actually goes both ways. Now here's the caveat. Here's the caveat. There are some trash influencers that lead people into moral and intellectual decay. If AI influencers are normies and they are generally positive, does that turn out to be a good thing? Big question mark. Like ChatGPT isn't your best friend, but if your best friend is on heroin, you're better off spending time with ChatGPT. That's the big question with AI that I have been asking for the past few weeks. And I don't know where this goes, but I do know that Rick the Robber is not leading people anywhere positive. I know that much. Why are people going along with this? People say, this is why everything feels the same, why the internet feels dead, the soul is gone. What you're seeing is AI puppets dancing for ad money. How is an AI influencer much different than Simon Cowell making a pop star, hiring faceless people to write her songs, choosing her album art and her choreography, having makeup artists do all of her makeup? We've had pop stars that are one step away from AI influencers going on 20 years now. I'm not even exaggerating. Conspiracy people have thought that our celebrities are AI for a long time. It actually states that in this Illuminati Pirate original thread. I'm not even going to get into Sexy Red, okay? Because we decided on this channel we're not going to talk about it anymore. All I'm saying is how much worse are these degenerate Black influencers than the pop stars that we have been complaining about for like 10 years already? That's a whole wing of conspiracy internet, okay? Who are these pop stars? They call them industry plants. And the difference between AI and a pop star is that AI is anonymous, I guess. And to me, that is worse and there's no accountability. But that could just be splitting hairs, honestly. This is how influencers are going out. And I'm mad because they forced us to whitewash ourselves for the world so that we could be clean enough for their ad dollars. Don't say the wrong thing, or Blue Chew will think you're too edgy and you can't pay rent this month. Now they built something that comes pre-whitewashed and they don't need us anymore. It's like, bye, girl. Your worst sin is that you destroyed and betrayed yourself for nothing. Dostoevsky said that. Dostoevsky is a writer, which means he made reels on paper. I got to explain it for these COVID kids that missed out on 2 years of schooling. That's what a writer does. So let's not pretend this leveling out of the internet and culture is somehow new. Women online, they have looked the same since the Kardashians standardized the makeup. Music has gone downhill since we abandoned musicians apparently and just gave it to people who were using these music programs. Talks about that too. Writing in movies and shows is so formulaic that there is a pattern you can follow for success. The special effects in TV and movies are all CGI. And it basically looks like you're playing a video game anyway. So our culture is losing out on these peaks and values that come with human creativity. It's become flattened and predictable. There's a formula for everything. And that's all AI really does. It looks at culture and exploits it toward the average. Well, sorry, that's how Hollywood already works. And it's worked that way for a while, unfortunately. And the people have not revolted. The people have not revolted. So this is where it ends, with straight up fake people influencing us. If there is no one real on the internet, why are we still here? Why are we still showing up if everyone's fake? All right, so let's wrap this up because I am human and I have to go to the grocery store because I have human needs of needing food. Anyway, do you believe in the dead internet theory? Will you tune in for AI influencers? Or are you just like, no, absolutely not? Now, who do you think is behind these AI influencers? Is it CIA? Is it someone trying to make money? Or is it bad actors just trying to sow chaos amongst us? You let me know if the internet becomes mostly bots, which I think technically already has. Will you unplug? Like, will you stick around for mostly bots? Or are you just like, I'm out of here because you got nowhere else to be? And what else are we supposed to do? Touch grass? Where's grass? Anyway, there's no wrong answers in my comment section. Just be honest. I gotta know you're real. Anyway, I am here for food porn and body cam footage. Once those go AI, I'm out. Thank you, and I will see you next week.